Hi guys, this is NUB SAUCE doing a Transport Fever playthrough. This is the second video, so we'll do the second mission of the American campaign called Industrialization. The sound level for the first video was a bit too low, I didn't realize, but I'll turn it up for this one.
Steel, that's the stuff progress is forged from. Everything is possible. In Pittsburgh, the steel industry metropolis, the furnaces are running at full blast. Steel production is opening up new prospects for the construction of buildings, for the production of machines, and, last but not least, for railroads too. People are flocking to the city, and there's work here aplenty. Bright minds are working meticulously on inventions and new technologies. They've been experimenting with a new form of power called electricity for decades now, but the breakthrough now seems to be within reach. Perhaps even large machines will soon be powered by electrical forces. A new age has dawned. He who takes his chances now can expect a golden future.
Okay, so this mission is set in Pittsburgh during the golden age of steel. It's one of the easier missions in the campaign because there's not a lot of time pressure to get the goals. So most of them you can just twiddle about and do in your own tempo.
Pittsburgh, 1880, the stronghold of world steel production. The perfect time to invest in the steel and mechanical engineering industries. This will guarantee that our company always has the best iron horses in its stable. Our friend George Westinghouse, who revolutionized rail transport with the invention of the air brake, conducts his business from the town of Monroeville, where he is researching electricity. He's offering us a stake in his company in return for us helping him to get ahead of his closest competitors and achieve a breakthrough for his alternating current system.
Yeah, so this tries to get in on the story of George Westinghouse and the invention of the air brake. The air brake that's still in use in American trains now, almost 140 years later. Amazing. Okay, so let's look at the 5 metals. Production peak. The Westinghouse plants should produce at least 8 machines in a single month, and 8 machines in a month corresponds to 96 per year. So it's trying to get the full 100 per year production that's available in the start. It's not that hard to achieve. Ensure that the train to Monroeville transports at least 70 passengers at once. That's also quite easy to do. Prevent Dr. Brown from performing his brutal practices. There's not much explanation, but I'll show you how to attain that. Turning point in the war of currents. Convince all the districts of the benefits of alternating current by the year 1890. Pittsburgh here is divided into North Shore, South Side, Central Eastern, and each of these 3 blocks have their own submission for this turning point with varying difficulty. We'll get to that later, and here's one of the timers, 1890. The last is inundate Tesla with coal. He has a factory here that eats a lot of coal. It doesn't say here how to inundate it, but it means you have to ship a lot of coal up here, and you have to ship it faster than it can burn it. Okay, so let's get started on the first one.
George Westinghouse is convinced of the superiority of alternating current and wants to produce all manner of lighting equipment and motors in his newly built factory. Only the Westinghouse plants are not very accessible. A direct railroad connection between the city and the town of Monroeville would make things considerably easier. The workers wouldn't already be tired from the walk when they turn up for their shifts at the factory.
Yeah, so connect Monroeville to the rail network and make sure that the workers find their way there. Build a passenger station in Monroeville, another in Pittsburgh Central, and have a passenger train commute between the cities. That's pretty straightforward. Also set up a line with horse-drawn carriages in both places so the passengers can reach the city from the station. Yeah, that's to get the passenger numbers up. So we have 5 million to start with, and we can like most other missions, we can get more money twice without any drawback on the achievement of medals. So we have Pittsburgh here, and we have Monroe down here, and you can't afford to destroy a lot of houses and put the train station in the middle of town, so it has to be on one of the sides here. Now let's look at the zoning here. If you put the train station in the green zone, it'll be a lot easier to get passengers, because then all the green on this residential area will go to the train station and then go to work in Pittsburgh. And it's quite easy to get a train station in the yellow and blue zone here in Pittsburgh. Then we have some residential here and out here, so it's not so centralized that that's a good place to get a train station for those. Whereas you could get one over here to get all the yellow and blue, the commercial and the industrial area connected to the train station. So I think it's obvious to put a train station here and then have buses, horse coaches, servicing the commercial and industrial. And in here it seems reasonable to put a station in here and then have horse carriages servicing the commercial and residential over here and the commercial and residential up here. And because we have the two other towns so close by, it would be good to have a round trip between South Side, North Shore and Central. That will allow for making more money and getting more people to the train station. So let's get started with some building. And I intend to run 2 passenger trains in constantly shuttling back and forth here. So I'll only need 1 track and then a passing siding in the middle. Trying to figure out where the middle is. So it's here, but I have a big curve over here, so more like around here. So hopefully the 2 trains will pass here at speed. At the moment we have a motor doing 60 and one doing 45. I'm doing 50 and I'm doing 80. So this one is way too expensive for the speed at the moment. So I think I'll do a general and 2 passenger cars, double that, duplicate, and then put both on frequency of 6 minutes. That seems reasonable. And then when they started running and people are waiting at the station, I'll upgrade them to something that can hold 70 passengers at once. But we also need to get some bus services. And then we'll make a circular. So from this main station to center here and to center here, and it goes back. So this will be the which it is for Pittsburgh circular. So all of this should support making a lot of money and support this first goal. Let's run it. We should also put the Prava logo on the train. Here's the first one. A General Level 2 Pullman coaches. Sure about the colors. It doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't recolor them. So yeah. It's not gonna look right. That's out of the gate, and the second one will roll into Monroe now. Turn off cost pop-ups. Those are really annoying. Okay, so while that's running, I just crank it to 3 times speed, 4 times speed, 4 times speed, and look at the calls here again. So pretty soon, all of this should crank up and get us the 100 passengers to, and pretty soon we'll get to running the 70 passengers at once. And might as well start building for the Westinghouse plant. That'll be the next mission. So Westinghouse has a factory here. It takes planks and steel and makes them into machines. Here we have a steel mill that turns iron and coal into steel. Up here we have a coal mine. Way over here we have an iron mine, a lumber yard, and a sawmill. And we need to connect that up somehow. At some point we'll need a train yard to send coal from the coal mine to Pittsburgh. So maybe it makes sense to extend that down here to send the coal down to the steel mill. The steel mill needs to get a lot of stuff shipped from up here. So it could make sense to make a big train station here and then send it down here. But that requires a lot of investment. So usually I'll just do it with the horse trucks instead. What do we have at the moment? We have the American horse carts. So even though they can only carry 5 pieces at once and they can only run around at 20 kilometers an hour, then that's still a pretty solid option. But considering we still have the time pressure to get the metal, so don't have time to earn a lot of money.
Nothing more stands in the way of the operation of the electric factory in Monroeville. We should help George Westinghouse to get production rolling. Growth, growth, and more growth is the motto. Only once production is running smoothly will our friend have the means to make the decisive breakthrough in his research into alternating current. And that's absolutely in our interest, as Westinghouse's profit is also our profit.
Yeah. What I was about to say is that because I have a time pressure to get this metal, I won't have time to earn a lot of money, and I would need to do that to make a rail network both here and here. So I will do the slow and cheap way and make it all with carts. And to do that I need to make some roads, a bunch of them, and I need to make a bunch of truck depots. that's the funny thing about the track laying tool. If you pull it out sharply, it tends to make this 90-degree curve and then shape it around, so it's often better to just do a slow pull. Just a quirk of the game engine. No, that's not nice enough. Damn, that's ugly. This is a waste of money. Didn't need to do, but it was just way too ugly. Or the separate one for the... I could get both of them in range. Then I could do everything with one truck stop, but that would make a choke point. So I'd rather have one dedicated for iron, one dedicated for planks, and maybe one dedicated for the lumber. Yeah. All these regular truck stations have 2 cargo terminals, so they can service 2 routes at once, but they only have 1 entrance. So when there's a lot of vehicles, they will stack up, so it's just better to do 1 per route. So 1 here for iron. Do 1 down here for planks. And 1 here to maybe here to receive the lumber. So we have all the raw materials. So we need to deliver iron. Iron needs to be delivered here and the planks down here, but it's way easier just to deliver iron and planks here and then ship both on a separate route. So we can drop off iron and planks here. We can drop off coal here. Then that will make steel, and then we'll store some planks, and then we need to get shipped out. So this one will be the receiving for both steel and planks. And it'll be dropped off here. And then that can also be the pickup for the machines that will be taken into town. And in town they'll be dropped off in this industrial section. So here I could go back out there, so... And that's one of the tricks of the game, is that any kind of cargo, whether it's passengers or actual cargo, can be dropped off at any of these points, whether it's a freight cargo point or a passenger point. You only need a specific type to pick up a certain type of goods, so you can use passenger stops to pick up passengers and truck stations to pick up cargo, but any of these can be dropped off at any of these. So for town deliveries, it's a way smarter to use a passenger stop than a proper truck station. So I'll just drop it here. That should cover almost all industrial. We'll also need some truck depots, so we can get vehicles on everything. And finally, to get production running, we need a full supply chain. So we also need to get one from the machine factory to the customers in Monroe. So it will be machines. And that will wait for full. So 6 new routes that all need vehicles. And to start, we'll just need a few to set off the entire economy. So I'll just put like 4 on every line. And just...
The money is slipping through our fingers, people. We'll soon be bankrupt. But if we're prepared to grovel on our hands and knees, our financiers will grant us a bridge loan.
Sure, I don't know what a bridge loan is because it is not supposed to be used on building bridges. But since it doesn't interfere with the metals, I'll certainly take more money. Okay, so 2 for the internal line here and 2 for the distribution line. So that should wake up the entire economy. And it's actually working. That didn't even run a full year and we already have 185 passengers waiting. So those trains that are running need to be upgraded to something way bigger. Something with 70 seats. Let's see how nicely they pass each other. Oh, that's perfect. Replacement. Let's see what it costs. 14 per car, so I need 5 cars. What would it cost to replace 1.78? What if I upgrade the loco as well? It will cost 2.5. I'll do. Yes, yes, sirree. So we will come in now. Change to a 5-car version. Pick up 70 passengers. And that should be the first medal in the bag. That's how you do it. And then this train will be the cash cow. I think it will also need to be upgraded with even further wagons later. But for now, that'll do. Just to look at the truck routes here. Each wagon can deliver 5. It's already started producing, that's nice. So to get up to the 100 per year, they need to deliver 20 times per year, which is every 36th second in route time. So most of these routes will need a lot more vehicles. And I can set that up now as it has started producing. Wow. Why did it put planks over there? That doesn't make sense. When you could put it over there. I wanted this one to be out of range. Just to keep it clean. So this will have to do. Now I can only take iron, and this can only take planks, yes. Okay. So, lumber, 3 minutes. So at least 8 more. Took it to 48 seconds, maybe 4. On top of that. 36. Perfect. It'll take some time to space out and run smoothly. It'll do. And the machines factory has plenty of steel. So it's just waiting for the planks to get down here. Iron, 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 iron. Planks! iron. So that's working beautifully. And we'll soon see that everything will be making a profit. And we'll soon get to the next part. Okay. So might as well start building the coal track that'll be needed later. So, train station, freight, terminal through. Might as well do it through. No, I need another one along. Yeah, no. I'll do terminal. I'll do the long one because I want to run real long trains. It's not really needed to have a long station to run a long train, but it'll look nicer and makes it easier to shift. What is it here? To run a double track if needed, if the train can fit on the station. Ooh, that's a cheap one. So we won't even run the track next to the other one, apparently. Now we got somewhere we can get the coal. Do the stone bridge here because maybe that's where you can do 80. That depends on what we have available. Not producing machines. What's that about? It's because it's prioritizing steel for some reason. So I need to put more wagons on. Put 4 on the steel hubs. Just left. So maybe we can get another one. Just put another car. Put it to 6. Cost 1.27 to upgrade. That's fine. So we can make even more money. So we start producing now. We got some of the lumber that it needed, or the planks. So, just a few seconds, we will continue.
Production has got off to a satisfying start, but a bitter struggle for dominance in the electrical energy business is raging between George Westinghouse and his adversary, Thomas Edison. While our friend is making every effort to advance the study of alternating current, Mr. Edison favors direct current. Meanwhile, the humble minds of the people fear electricity in either form. They consider it the work of the devil. We'll ensure a glorious victory for our friend George Westinghouse in the battle against his adversary. Let's convince the people of the right system, as whoever wins the race in this war of currents will control the entire market.
Okay, so now I spawned 3 submissions. There's one here in East, Pittsburgh Eastern, Pittsburgh Northern, and Pittsburgh South Side. And all 3 will need to be completed before 1990 to get this war currents medal. So we should investigate what the missions are about, and I can see I need a lot more horse carriages here. Which route? That's a circular. That's way too popular. I think I should upgrade the circular to a tram, maybe? Tram depot. I'll need one over here in a moment. So we have trams that can do 25, that takes 6, 7 passengers. Rather than 5 passengers with 18. Yeah. I think I'll do that first. Pump up the circular. And tram that track. The circle should be trimmed up now. So if I go, the tram depot is not connected yet. So now it should be possible for me to send all these carriages to be sold. Buy a bunch of trams. There's not 15. On the circular. It's supposed to work. Okay. So the circular will upgrade, and then we can look at the objectives now. The first one.
Thomas Edison is entertaining sinister plans to publicly discredit Westinghouse's alternating current system. According to the rumors, a certain Harold Brown is conducting obscure experiments in his secret laboratory somewhere in Pittsburgh to bring alternating current into disrepute. Perhaps the local residents know more.
Follow the clues to track down Harold Brown's laboratory. And prevent Dr. Brown from performing his brutal practices. So this is the thing that's worth a medal. So it continues here.
A local resident has told of a crowd that was supposedly gathered around Dr. Brown, who was killing stray dogs with alternating current in order to prove its dangerous nature. Most stray dogs are said to be found in Southside.
Okay, so let's go to Southside.
That devilish Dr. Brown is growing bolder. He's now said to be working on a chair that kills people using electric shocks. The only thing that can help is an act of sabotage. His laboratory must be destroyed. It is said to be located on the northern bank of the river.
Maybe this one. Confirm destruction, yes. That's probably the easiest medal in the game. And that was one of the 3 sub-goals here. So we should go and investigate the next one here. Okay, that was done immediately. That's what happens when you get ahead of yourself. The task in Pittsburgh Southside is to make a tram route that services Pittsburgh Southside. And because I already had the circular in there that I just trammed up, then it said, no, it's already got enough passengers, so that goal is already reached. Yeah, okay, I didn't expect that. Then I'll go to Pittsburgh North Side, or North Shore.
A gigantic generator that generates such gigantic sparks probably needs to be fed gigantic amounts of coal. Our business partner's chief tinkerer, a certain Nikola Tesla, needs tons of coal to keep the generators running for his alternating current experiments. It's urgent.
Yes. So here we have Nikola Tesla's laboratory, which is created as an industry that takes coal and it will eat up to 400 coal a year. So it will take everything I can throw at it. Then we have the metal to inundate the Tesla with coal. So it needs to get ship so much coal that apparently it can't eat it all. So my previous experimentation has said that if there's 300 in the input buffer here, in the stored number here, then it is inundated. But I'm not entirely sure that that's what is needed, but that's what I'll try to accomplish at least. So we need a train station that's ready to receive all the coal. And because I have the train coming in here, I'll go around the outside of the town. And this is in range. $85, $80, that's fast enough. So we have the route, we need a train depot. It's a bit far from the gold mine, but I'll also need some time to pick up the connection before it starts producing. So, one roll transfer, pick up coal, deliver here at the Tesla station. So this will be the Supra coal. Needs to be called something. Running. So for starters we can do the cheap locomotive. And if you want to do this 100 coal in 2 loads, I would need 8 wagons.
Good gracious, we're spending money like there's no tomorrow. Just this once, our financial backers are willing to turn a blind eye and help us out once again. But this is definitely the last time.
Yeah, give me money. I got to 7, I need another one. 8. So I'll start by this, delivering 50. And then when I got enough money, I'll upgrade it to 100, and when this industry gets up to a production 400, then I'll upgrade the train again. So maybe we can get the 300 on a single train. That'll look awesome because that'll be a very long train. Still an amazing amount of passengers. Oh, we got the Muggle. Ooh. I need to pause here. Because the Muggle does 75 and we've got wagons at 80. So that would be a wonderful upgrade to increase the frequency and increase the earnings. Because fast trains make more money. So let's just see how much we can afford if we change to Muggles. The 4 wagons. 155. I can't quite afford it yet. It should also have 5 at least. Can afford it now. No. I can afford it when the next train arrives. So just keep an eye on these.
Production volumes are growing splendidly. However, there's one small problem. The workers in our friend's factory have laid down their tools and are refusing to lift even a single finger until their demands have been met. They're calling for higher wages, shorter working hours, and better safety measures. What do we do in a case like this?
Okay, so they want us to handle the strike at the production factory. It says, our options: let's hire Pinkerton's detective agency and have the instigators gunned down. However, this could damage our fleet. Not quite sure how that would work, but apparently Pinkerton can't hit for shit, and they'll put bullet holes in our trains. Second option: higher pay is off the cards, but we can do something about working hours. We can just employ more unskilled laborers. Hopefully, they'll be able to maintain operations. And it says down here, then the factory needs more resources. It'll make the factory a lot less efficient if it needs extra planks or extra steel or something. So that's not a good idea. Third option: only the small-minded scrimps, and we have no need for that. Let's meet their demands, even if it means every working hour costs us dear. It says here, and costs 500,000. Considering that that I'm currently running a cash cow that earns 1.5 million a year, then 500,000 is a good investment compared to the other two choices. Okay, back to buying more vehicles. What's that? That's 10, yeah. Let's put 10 on mine. Waiting for money to replace for the faster passenger train. That looks so sweet. I really did put it in the right place. Oh, cool train. Let's just fill that now. So let's take a ride on the cool train. What is that? What on earth was those white lines in the track? Oh, they're gone now. Must have been part of the track overlay, route overlay. Yeah, that frame rate drop was because of the end of month calculations. The game engine runs a lot of updates every time you hit the first of a month, so slow down on the frame rate. It's already running quite high because I'm recording this video and running on 4x speed. So the CPU is definitely doing a hard job here. Pittsburgh. 600,000. Let's see. The coal arrived at Tesla's plant. And it's getting eaten up very fast. So do I have enough money? Yes, I have enough money for the express trains now. What if I put on them extra? Yes, will just be wonderful. train is only 2 years old because of the last upgrade. It's already due for a schedule. Another upgrade. The thing is, this game it really is beautiful. Single speed. Pulling into Monroe Station for the upgrade. We're still doing 50 kilometers an hour and we do 75 kilometers an hour. Already feel the profit soaring. I feel like a Ferengi right now. $500,000 for a load. 500,000 for a load in the other end. Upgrade complete. Those like this. What? Very detailed. Also get all the nice clunks of the track. Okay, so the coal train is out on the second delivery. So as soon as it made the delivery, I'll see how much I can upgrade it. Okay, what replace it with a stronger? That'll be 1 million. Then how many wagons can I afford at 3.5 million? Something like that. I didn't count how much that was. 11 wagons, so that's a quest of 77 for the next price. I still afford more because I didn't look for the sale cost of the old train. How much is waiting? 30 is waiting.
Eureka! The population of Pittsburgh finally seems to have been won over by the idea of alternating current. And there's even more good news. A hydroelectric power plant will soon generate power at Niagara Falls, and the operating company is on the lookout for the man who can build this power plant. That can only be one man. If George Westinghouse manages to increase his sales just a little bit more, he'll be awarded the contract and finally emerge victorious in the war of currents, while we come away with shares in his company, which have significantly increased in value.
Okay. This actually is the last mission, or task in this mission. And it is to produce 100 machines. And that will take less than a year if I let it run. Which means that I have less than a year to collect the last metal. And that's a time-consuming one. So what I actually need to do is to stop his production. I can't afford to let him produce 100. And at the moment, he doesn't have any planks. He has a lot of steel, but he doesn't have any planks, so he can't produce anymore if I cut off his supplies. So, if I go in here and take this one and send them to the depot, then the production will stop. All these supply lines will eventually stop making money, but it will take a bit of time. And then hopefully, well, they're not that costly to run compared to the how much money I make from all these trains. So it should not do anything to bankrupt me while this is running. So now I'll stop that. So I have almost all the time in the world to make sure that this train will do its fantastic success with Mr. Tesla. Okay. So we had 130 coal waiting. That's almost 20 wagons. So I could add a lot more. So I'll just do another replacement. That's all I could afford. So it should be at 18 wagons, which is times 7, that's 126 gold.
End of the line. It's no use begging and pleading. Our financiers are refusing to put even one more penny into our project. Damn it.
That is unfortunate. Except that I'm making lots of money, so it doesn't matter. So let's see. 18 wagons. And it takes 4 minutes or 3 kilometers to get to full speed. So in the next upgrade I also need to put on another locomotive, I think. The Mogul may be a cool locomotive, but it has its limitations anyway. So my speculation was that I need 300 coal delivered at once to reach the cutoff for the metal. And 300 coal, that's 7 per wagon. That's at least 43 wagons. So this is not even half the size of the train I need. But it doesn't help me making the train bigger until the industry is more efficient. For some reason it doesn't seem to be want to upgrade yet. Maybe it is hard coded to only go to 400. I don't know. So maybe if I put a few more cards on here, it will need to produce more. Put more cars on now, then we'll wait longer, produce more, yeah. So, another model. So, then we'll take it to 28 wagons. That's probably appropriate. Yes, that was just enough to kick it over the edge, so it will soon upgrade to the 800 production. There's a good chance that I can do the 300 coal shipment the next time around. That's right. I need to find a good place to look at the train here. I think I'll catch it at the bridge. Set it to normal speed and then we will see it crossing the bridge here. Oh, the smoke effect from a double locomotive, that's just awesome. So 10, 15, at least 15 more wagons. Please replace. So next time around we'll have 43 wagons, so that's enough for the 300 limit. So I'll be excited to see how that goes. How goes the passenger service here? The circular is still on demand in terms of vehicles. So I might as well just throw some more trams on it. So now it has a production limit of 800 here in the coal mine. It doesn't seem quite to be producing that. I'm not entirely sure why. We're already in April, so it should have produced 200. I don't know why it fell behind. It seems odd to me. But it is producing. We're already halfway filled up here. Okay, we can't see the locomotives right now because it did an upgrade. We can already see that the train is way too long for the station. The station is 320 meters. And the train is 488 meters. So it should actually be, yeah, it probably pops up here when it reverses to run out of the station. Be awesome. Triple mogul coal train. 43 cars, 488 meters of length. I think that's the longest train I've ever used in a campaign mission. I'm not even sure I've used it on such a long train in a free play on this. I was just fooling around. I did make a 2-kilometer freight train just to see if if the game engine could take it, but and it did quite nicely. Could never fill a 2-kilometer train with goods. So now we cross our fingers that this actually works. Coming in 301 coal at once to Nikola Tesla's laboratory. Interesting. So 300 was not enough. Maybe it's a consumption that needs to put 300. Maybe. Well, we have money to even more expand on this train. So for oh, there it was. So I don't know what inundate means, but yeah. It's still at 200 stored and it's consumed almost 200. So. Yeah. So all I can say is to deliver 300 coal and that should be enough. Which also means that we can put these old vehicles back on the line, and the production will pick up shortly, and everything should be in working order again.
A complete success. The whole of Pittsburgh is electrified. The triumph of alternating current is unstoppable. The war of currents has been won.
So that's how you do it. I think it's a kind of a cheat to just stop Westinghouse factory production, but this Nikola Tesla model is really time consuming. It takes a long time to get all that coal. Otherwise, the rest of the achievements here are pretty easy to get. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you up in the third mission of the Americas campaign. See you later.